Hello and thanks for checking out TheChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. Sign up for a 1-week free trial, no credit card required, for access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hello friends, checking in on Twitter GPRO X CHK daily weekly time frame. Starting it off with Twitter, not a good market day for the bulls to try and confirm that reversal candlestick. The high of yesterday was 1616. We just barely got over that, but a pullback in the market led to further downside in Twitter, so a lower high and a lower low. This is a bear flag on the daily time frame. So whenever we see a potential bear flag set up, the odds of it being a bear flag are more likely than not, as long as the exponential resistances, the 4 and the 8 period here, as long as they stay resistance. So that is what happened here, and we pulled back down, closed at the low, the 3-month low now, and on the weekly time frame, we already saw the clear bear break that occurred at 1627 when that higher low was lost, and now we're seeing that follow through to the downside because we had such a bullish run from 14 up to 18 that we didn't really build much support on the way up, which is why the bears are really running with it on the way down. So there's not many supports to be found here in terms of clear levels. I'm looking at psychological levels, 1550 and 15, but the most recent low next would be down here at 1420, 1412. So that's our base of support down here. Obviously, I don't expect to drop to that level. Daily chart is already oversold, so we will be looking out for an oversold bounce. But at this point, because the market volatility has picked up so much, I do believe that it's going to be directly related to what the market does in terms of when this bounce does get going. So looking at GPRO on the daily time frame, also seeing some more significant consolidation, also just barely breaking the high of yesterday, rejecting from the upper Bollinger Band on the back test, closing near the low of the day. Only good sign for the bulls here at this point is the consolidation is obviously following a huge breakout, but the volume, declining bear volume, especially on a day like today where there was a spike in volume in the market, didn't see that in GPRO. We did close at the low of the day, so we are anticipating further downside from here, but support is going to be 975 and 951. Bulls just want to hold ideally 931 to prevent from starting to fill this gap to the downside, which doesn't have much support due to skipping those levels on the way up. So on the weekly time frame, it's this 50-day moving average, or the 50-week, I should say. Last video, I said if we close below this level tomorrow, end of the week, that will be a clear bearish rejection for the second week in a row and a bearish reversal candlestick. So watching how we close tomorrow, upper Bollinger Band is still support, so the weekly chart is still in breakout mode, but there is definitely a lot of profit taking on that candlestick. X on the daily time frame. All in all, the bulls are pretty pleased with how they held up compared to the market weakness today, but it's still this 100-day moving average resistance and still the daily middle Bollinger Band. We're within this channel now 3 days in a row. So support is 2378. Update that level at the open. Same with 2443. The range is getting tighter and tighter, and I absolutely would expect a break and a close either above or below one of these levels tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, then Monday would be a sure thing for that to happen. So it is healthy consolidation at this point following the 4-day bull move, but that is coming after a very significant bearish pullback after those earnings. So tomorrow's going to be very interesting to how this sets up next week, where if we do have a bullish break, this weekly chart wouldn't be looking too bad. The big bearish reversal candlestick with tons of profit taking off of the earnings, but the next week really saved it with the bulls buying the dip, keeping or regaining the 200-week moving average and closing up near the high of the week, and now we have a little bit of follow through this week. So tomorrow's a pretty important day for X as well with regard to that tightening channel. CHK still bears, and this has been the nicest play on this bear list, and I keep this bear list because we're looking for longer term plays, swing plays, and the weekly time frame has the longer term trend very clear. Obviously we can play it in both directions, but we know the overall trend is bearish on these names. So CHK is performing the best in that regard with an all-out dump. As soon as we broke 465, that was the first red flag. Second red flag was 442, and now we're just seeing further downside, rejecting from exponential resistance, close at the low of the day, absolutely breaking down. And this is the lowest price that we've seen now in a year and a half. Support is 413, followed by 4 psychological and 393, and this is the weakest week that we've seen in CHK in a while. So that's what we've got heading into the weekend. I'll check back in over the weekend, and we'll see how Twitter, most notably I'm looking at Twitter and Twitter and X for their, looking at this tight range on X and looking at Twitter due to the lack of support, so the bears have it fairly easy at this range. Thanks again. We'll see you soon.